Good evening and welcome to My Future. I'm Ruveneko. In tonight's episode, we continue talking about STEM. And as you know, we were at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, as last week's episode revealed. Now, at the trade fair, there was a dinner that was hosted by the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development. The guest of honor that evening was the Vice President of Zimbabwe, Honorable Phelekezela Mpoko. Now, we are going to be in this episode today hearing both from him as well as from Professor Jonathan Moyo, Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development. And in this first segment, do enjoy a few words from leaders in industry when they talk about their position in Zimbabwe as people that are trying to make a life happen with the work that they do.
Sincerely commend you, Minister, for embarking on the National STEM Initiative. The program is targeted at promoting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics among high school pupils as the catchment area that provides recruits into the tertiary and higher institutions. It is such recruits that will be trained as professionals and practitioners in various disciplines that drive industry and commerce in the 21st century for our economy. On our part as NAMACO, we hail STEM as a long-awaited national intervention to foreground school subjects which are critical for industrialization. This is a scheme that we have for some time been insisting on government to institute. In point of fact, we have also made representations on the need to introduce STEM right down from grade 0. Accordingly, we gladly welcome and fully support the initiative to boost STEM learners in schools. This puts Zimbabwe well on the path to success in the digital economy, which is upon us. So, as the buzzword says, let's STEMitize. We endorse as NAMACO your initiative, Honorable Minister.
From the Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries, allow me from the outset to pledge our support, our endorsement for the STEM initiative. Your industries, Honorable Vice President, Honorable Minister, are informed by a few documents. The first of those documents is Agenda 2063, whose focus is on value addition. Likewise, the SADC value addition agreements and protocols in the tripartite free trade area. As industry, we are looking to value addition, and we have all agreed on that as the way forward, not just for Zimbabwe, but for Africa as a whole. So when we look at the STEM initiative, we see it as a bedrock, as an investment into that program, where as Africans, it's time we started adding value to our products. It's time we started engaging in activities that make us a nation that is competitive. With those few remarks, Honorable Minister, allow me to congratulate you on launching this initiative and wish you all the best. May the dear Lord bless you as you work on this initiative. Siyabonga, I thank you.
Coming up after the break, we hear from the Minister himself of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Professor Jonathan Moyo, and we also hear from the Vice President of Zimbabwe, Honorable Phelekezela Mpoko. Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Professor Jonathan Moyo, talks to us about what STEM is, the real meaning, if we don't get it yet. He's going to explain it to us and unpack it in his own words. And he's also going to speak to how the lives of young Zimbabweans are going to be changed, those Zimbabweans that have taken part in the STEM initiative. It's not just how they're going to be changed individually, but how the schools that they go to are going to be developed, because that is what STEM is all about.
I would like to remind us that the reason we are here is to announce the winners in the various categories among the students who enrolled for A-level subjects in 2016, as well as their schools where they are enrolled. I would like to remind you that there are two grand prizes. One is a STEMatized bus. The second grand prize is $100,000. And this will go to a school, and hopefully a school that needs the money. And the money will specifically support infrastructure related to STEM. It is intended to support equipment acquisition. So this is really a day to announce these winners. Then, as you know, 10 students, one each from our 10 provinces, stand to win a trip of a lifetime to Silicon Valley companies in California in the US. Another 100 students stand a chance to win a laptop, a STEMatized laptop, and these will be 10 each from the country's provinces. And finally, another 100 stand to win iPads. And again, it will be 10 each from the 10 provinces. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is important for me to take this opportunity to remind you what the principal mandate of the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development is. And this mandate is derived from the Manpower Development Act. And it is for the ministry to plan, develop, and train human capital for the country's economy, the entire economy. This is a mandate that is derived from the Manpower Development Act. We must plan, and having done so, develop, and having done so, train the critical human skills that our economy needs. And these skills are not permanently fixed. They change from time to time. And you will be aware that His Excellency, the President, in his capacity as the chairperson of SADC, announced a new policy for SADC and its members. And this is an industrialization strategy for Zimbabwe and other members of SADC, which was adopted last year. And that new policy means that our country must now prepare itself for its industrialization. And as such, it means we must now plan, develop, and train human capital skills for the industrialization of Zimbabwe. And the most important skills that our country needs for its industrialization are STEM skills. No STEM, no industrialization. We have heard in the debate that is going on since the launch of this program, that there are some people who believe that pure sciences, that is mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, equal STEM. That if you have taken these subjects, it means you are STEMatized. That is very wrong. Because if this is true, even Isaac Newton was STEMatized. What it means is that in order to have the STEM skills that are required for our industrialization, our compatriots must have the necessary foundations for the training for those skills. And the necessary foundation for that training are these pure science subjects: mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, and especially mathematics. In the acronym STEM, the first letter S is common. It is the summary that speaks to physics, chemistry, and biology. The last letter M is also common, and we say very, very important. It affects all fields, whether they are STEM fields or non-STEM fields. But what is thematic in STEM is not these subjects. It is the T and E, the technology and engineering. That's what is STEM, technology and engineering. Not simply physics, chemistry, and biology on the one hand, or mathematics. We are hearing a lot of people running around saying they are doing STEM simply because they are teaching these pure subjects. That's wrong. These subjects have been taught since time immemorial. But what has lacked, and what our country now critically needs, is the T and E, which is applied science, technological and engineering solutions to the challenges that our country faces. Technology and engineering solutions that will ensure the industrialization of our country. So when we are saying we are STEMatizing, we are talking about transforming our higher and tertiary education institutions to ensure that they now do applied sciences. But in order for them to do that, they must get students who are well grounded in the pure sciences that will make it possible for them then to engage in the STEMatized subjects.
Well, you heard it from Professor Jonathan Moyo. No STEM, no industrialization. So Zimbabwe, get ready to industrialize. We'll be right back. Now we hear from Vice President Phelekezela Mphoko on his thoughts of where Zimbabwe is placed currently regarding STEMatizing. And he speaks too about how STEM does not just belong to Zimbabwe. It's a global thing. It happens all over the world, and it is happening. And Zimbabwe is not alone. And we were not the first to start this. And Zimbabwe also didn't just start it this year. It's been ongoing. So he speaks to how we can maximize it to best achieve not just a socio-economic environment, but also one that is high-tech. And so enjoy what he has to say and his interpretation of what STEM is.
The STEM program is indeed born out of the vision enunciated by His Excellency, the President, when he said, and I quote, "There is need to equip learners with knowledge and values that guarantee economic growth and increased opportunities for employment creation, well-rounded citizens who are relevant nationally and competitive globally, close quote. The basis of the country's focus on the implementation of the STEM initiative is the realization that today's change is cruising on the bleeding edge of technology, fostered by scientific research and development, R&D. Countries that have overcome extreme poverty, massive disease burden, unemployment, political turmoil, and social disorientation have embraced STEM without excuses. The STEM initiative is a national strategy to achieve defined national socio-economic goals as defined in the Zimmerset Economic Blueprint and the country's industrialization policy through a strategic human capital development plan. There shouldn't be any doubt that STEM professions are the headlights for this country's future economic prosperity, and with STEM, our nation stands to unlock the power with which to engineer the meta code of the jobs of the future. The missing link for an industrial breakthrough of a revolutionary magnitude in this country has always been STEM capacity in most critical areas of the economy. Technology is such a critical economic asset that has given developed nations an economic edge over other regions, and no reasonable country is prepared to just give it on a platter. It is with this realization that without research, there is no technology. Without technology, there is no meaningful value addition to our natural resources. Without value addition or our natural resources, we remain poor, yet potentially rich on paper. Our regional economies have largely remained resource-based, anchored by primary extractive industries with minimum partial industrialization in some cases. In order to move from resource-based economies to higher tech, knowledge-driven economies, we need to embrace the role of science and technology and invest in it accordingly. With these remarks, it is now my singular honor and privilege to officially declare the A-Level 2016 Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM Initiative Prize Draw raffle officially open.
Now, you've heard the word STEMatize be thrown around, and now you're going to find out exactly what it means in a tangible way. There were over 1,000 of the young students in the hall that day at this event in Bulawayo during the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, sitting, waiting anxiously to know if it's going to be them who's going to be given the opportunity to go and visit the prestigious Silicon Valley in California, whether it's them who's going to be receiving a STEM bus for their school, or whether their laboratories are going to be developed by the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development. So the time is now. You get to find out who the lucky or blessed students are who get to win the awards that were offered on this evening.
For the Midlands Province.
Can we get the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Professor Jonathan Moyo, to come and draw this one? Prof, please pick out one name for us.
Oh my.
Just pick one.
Where's the number? Congratulations to Maposa Ngonizashe, Anderson Adventist High.
Thank you.
America, here we come.
Matabeleland South Province. For the trip to Silicon Valley, we're going to call up the Deputy Minister in the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Dr. Godfrey Gandawa to draw out the winner.
That everybody gets a chance to fly all the way to the United States of America to visit Silicon Valley.
The winner is Vundla Faith Chabezi High School.
Faith Vundla. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Pack your bags.
Great. Now we move on to Matabeleland North. Honorable Anastasia Ndlovu, if you don't mind, coming up and drawing for us the winner from Matabeleland North, who will be going to Silicon Valley.
Thank you. The winner is Makusha Kudakwashe G. Congratulations. From Maris Brothers, Dete High.
Congratulations.
A very big congratulations.
To Makusha going all the way to the States to visit the Silicon Valley.
And now we move on to Masvingo Province.
Makolokoto Changa Chatete admire Tafumane NT Masvingo Nekapit Esimuto. Hi.
And nothing but celebrations right through. Now the auditors are here and they now do the school draw container and we are ready for that. The container is opened and we are going to do the draw for the bus.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
Would like to call upon Honorable Minister Mushowe to come and assist us with the draw.
They put them in the drum for the $80,000 bus. That shows that his eyes are definitely closed. He can't find the door. Now eventually it's done. It has been picked and the winner. The winner is in the hand of the Honorable Vice President, Imagine of Zimbabwe. Let's hear.
Vasa Manyika. Manyikaland Province. What is the name? School name? Mabudzi High.
Mabudzi High. We are being told that we may have to bother our guest of honor once again to come and do the draw for the money. The $100,000 from the same port once again. Now he gets in, gets one and picks one directly. Let's hear who has won. May I have your attention, please? Thank you. This is $100,000.
I just want to put my eyes here. Mashonaland Central.
Mashonaland Central.
School name.
The school name?
St. Francis and St. Clair High.
St. Francis.
Makorokoto, I'm so open.
And there you have it. That was the STEM dinner at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair 2016, hosted by the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development during the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair. And you saw the winners, the young students that were so happy, I think probably still actually digesting how their lives are about to change with the awards that they won. And the various speakers that spoke to what STEM is, how we are aiming toward industrializing our country. Now, Silicon Valley is not a small thing. Silicon Valley is a really huge opportunity for these students, and hoping that parents especially can make sure that the students understand the value of this before they get on a plane and hopefully come back having learned so much and gained so much inspiration. Silicon Valley is home to many companies: Google, Intel, Facebook, Oracle. There are a number of huge companies that are there, and they're going to get the opportunity to visit them, to tour them, and hopefully, as I said, build inspiration and come back to Zimbabwe and help us industrialize our very own country. That's it from me tonight. I'm Ruveneko. Good night for now. Be good, and if you can't be good, be safe.